Bright suns and rising moons, fellow droids. Welcome to Not the Droids podcast. I'm Danny.
And I'm Mayuri, and today we are taking a break from the Clone Wars to start The Mandalorian, in anticipation of The Mandalorian and Grogu coming out in May.
And we got a trailer.
I want to see because we are traveling for Memorial Day weekend and we're leaving Thursday night. So I want to know that I could maybe go Wednesday,
Same.
like an early release
I'm
day.
really hoping for like a fan event or something. I will pay. I just need to see it. I mean, we could
Yeah,
see it in London, but I
it
would
won't
like
be
to
the
see it
same.
prior.
Yeah, but so I'm excited because I think this is the first show that both of us have already watched.
I think
So
so.
we've, after over a year of doing this, we finally come up to a show that is truly just a rewatch,
Yes.
which I kind of like because now I have all this context behind it. And so I'm understanding of what's happening during The Mandalorian. So like even watching the first scene, like I
Mhm.
feel like the music, Danny, you really dialed me into the music, the banjo
I'm so
music.
glad. I'm so glad.
And I'm like, ooh, but
So I want to add,
sorry. Oh
because
yeah,
we
when did
are
they
watching this out
release?
of order. The Mandalorian falls 5 years after The Return of the Jedi.
Yes. We're out of episode order just so that we can get through them. Sorry, I forgot to do my part. We're watching, so this episode, we're going to be talking about chapters 1 and 2. So the Mandalorian and the Child. Um, and they came out not too long ago, long
2019,
enough.
which I like in my head it was
Oh, I thought
right.
it was a COVID show.
Right? No, it initially aired in 2019. So the first episode was November 12th and the second was November 15th. And when I saw 2019, I was like, huh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, I don't know why I thought it was a COVID show then.
Because
Because I
what
feel
COVID was 2020, so
like in April, I think it would have been done by then.
it would have been done by then.
Yeah.
So we must have watched it and then rewatched it because it was all of a sudden. Maybe you watched it during
I
COVID.
might have watched it during
You may have not
lockdown.
watched it during the airing, and that's probably what it was.
Yeah. But no, I was really excited to watch it because I really liked The Mandalorian. And honestly, like I actually you'll be so proud of me. I took copious notes
Oh, I'm so proud of you. I
on
didn't.
these episodes. I mostly just because like
We never
candidly
take
we
notes on the same episodes.
no, we don't. Well, I just like wanted to go through like how I feel watching it again, like for the first time, because it's
Mhm.
been so long now that I don't really remember exactly what has happened. I
Mhm.
just know the general storyline, right? So I was just like, the amount of aura the Mandalorian has in the first episode is wild. Like just walking up and being like, yep, here you go. And then I feel like I have more context for the credits issue because, like, why the Mandalorian wouldn't take Imperial credits, even though, like, they're still technically good. But, like, it always didn't make sense to me why he would take half the amount of payment as long as it wasn't in credits.
Yeah.
I don't know what they called it. It was like yayas or something. And I was like, I don't think I considered there were other currencies
There are.
before that.
Yeah.
Oh, stupid.
Before this is not to do with The Mandalorian, but you mentioned credits, which reminded me of another
Oh,
show, and we have
which
heard
we
rumors that we're
did
getting.
we hear rumors?
There are rumors that we are getting season two of Skeleton Crew.
Okay, so it's not officially confirmed.
Um,
I think it was a Screen Rant article that you sent me.
it was.
And I feel like that's essentially confirmed.
I feel like it is because it was also about another show too. Let's see. It's reportedly in development for a second season, despite earlier indications it might be a limited series.
I wonder if they're trying to explore what the storyline could be.
Creators have teased plans for a second season,
Yeah.
involving a time jump to account for the young actor's aging.
I feel like that's the only way it makes sense. Is
Oh
this
yeah, that would make sense. Because
if they kind of
I would like to see them still.
well, because like I still have all of those questions, and it has to do with credits.
I know
And it's
that's what reminded me is that we were talking about
I'm
credits.
so fixated on Imperial credits now.
But now we're kind of in this like, okay, so nobody wants them, and then in Skeleton Crew, everybody wants them. They are treasure now. So
Yeah,
it's a
they're
very
treasure.
curious time period.
Yeah.
So we're
Well,
gonna end up
also
doing
because
a
they're
whole episode
shiny, right?
specifically
Like
on
they're
credits of the Star Wars universe.
or just like all the different currencies. One of the things that I wrote is how much does money is money worth in this in Star Wars? Because like 5,000 credits doesn't buy you gas. He specifically said that 5,000 credits doesn't buy you gas. But then one plate of Beskar steel makes, or because later, like Grief, like, what is the conversion? I mean, obviously, the Mandalorian would do anything for the Beskar steel,
Yes.
but like, what is the conversion rate? And also, like, how many Imperial credits is a lot of Imperial credits? Like, and how much does small things cost? This is like, honestly, this is the same problem I have with like the Harry Potter conversions. How
Well,
many
everyone knows
little
those don't actually
coins?
make sense.
No, but how many little coins equals abdominal piece?
Yeah.
Like, what is that? I'm sure we can find it on the internet, but I like,
We're gonna have to research this because then also like going back to Skeleton Crew, he had like one, he's like, this is just my lunch money, and everyone was like freaking out over one. They're like,
that's why it's just like, how much is a big one worth versus a little one? What is the actual rate of a big one? Is it 1,000 credits?
I don't know.
But this is where I don't know if it's just me, but like whenever I read or watch something, I get very stressed out over the currency.
It's
And I'm like, guys, it's just not the math is not mathing.
Yeah, and most of the time the math doesn't math but it's funny because we also are readers of other books like Lord of the Rings, the whole world is completely thought out from beginning to end. But then you
Yes.
get this series and they're like, we're gonna just use these random coins but not actually like have any meaning for what these actually are. And I understand that's a lot, especially like in a universe like Star Wars and the time period of Star Wars, because the value of different credits is changing and
And
different
also like the
money.
different currencies. So it's just like we know there are banks, but is there like something like the Federal Reserve that backs all the currency? Or is all the currency like the actual like it's not backed currency, like it's actual gold or whatever it's
Yeah.
made out
And
of.
see, in like in my head mentally, because we use credit cards, a credit is like a shoop, but then you see it and you're like, no, that's physical monies.
It's a little domino piece of gold
Yeah.
or silver or whatever it's made out of.
Whatever
And
it's
then at
made
the
out of.
same time, like who is backing the like yayas of the blue ball things that he comes up with?
Somebody not in, it's probably like a currency that's accepted more like in the outer rim than
Yeah.
like Republic run places.
Yeah. And
Because like
that's
at
where
this
it's just
point,
like,
they're kind of in turmoil. Like all they're like trying to
honestly,
re-find
I'm gonna
where
go
they
do a
are.
deep dive after this and see if I can find. Because, like, honestly, I have always trusted the Star Wars Reddit pages that someone else has had this problem
I'll post it on
understanding the
threads. I'm like, does
currency.
anyone understand the currency of the Star Wars
Yes,
universe?
how many
Give us a
little
TED Talk.
coins
We will
equals a
invite you
domino?
on
I
to
like
have a
truly,
TED Talk about
I
Star Wars currency.
truly want to know that what are the different rates of coins and how many coins equals a domino piece, domino sized piece of
In like
credit.
2 years, we're going to be at some convention having a panel about the currency of the Star Wars universe.
This is slowly going to drive me crazy as we work our way through the Star Wars universe
It is.
because I feel like even up until this point, like we don't even talk about the worth of credits and stuff because the time that we were in, it was all accepted, right? Like in Young Jedi, they actually talked about things costing money. I feel like in Andor, we talk about things costing money.
It's
And so
mentioned
I'm
throughout things because, like, then in like our later
in Clone
trilogy,
Wars, I feel
we
like we
know
talk
that
about
like
it.
Rey has no money for things. Like,
She's Poe, like really, really Poe.
yeah.
Um, And that's where I'm just like watching it. I'm like, okay, so bounties, 5,000 credits is a week bounty, not even worth Mando's time. So, what is his threshold? And also, how long does a tank of gas last that it costs so much money?
So, but here's the thing is that like when we're thinking a tank of gas, we're not thinking of like our car. We're thinking about going to other planets.
Spaceships. So maybe it's
So
just like it's
it
not
feels more
worth,
reasonable because you're like, well, if you're paying me for a bounty and I have to go to this little
yeah,
town down all the way, no, their bounty is not going to cover my gas because of how far I have to go for this bounty and to come back.
yeah. So this is where when he says that the payment is in Beskar, I was just like, this is where I started thinking about like what is the conversion system between all of these? Or is there no conversion system? It's just what that currency is worth to that culture. Right?
I
Because like
don't
I
know
feel
that
like
Beskar is actually a concert
currency or
currency. I think it's more like
it's steel.
it's like we're paying in diamonds. Like it's not actual
Yeah.
currency, it's a rarity.
Yeah, that's true.
Ver
Because
like
like
because it's a valuable thing, especially to the Mandalorians.
well,
And
because it came from their
yes. So
I was
I
gonna
don't
say
think
country, but
Beskar is a
their
form of
planet.
currency. I think it's a form of a rare thing that is untrackable as
Yeah.
payment. So like if people are like Bitcoin, like it doesn't like exist, it's out there. I don't like it. Diamonds, gems, like things that
Yeah,
like
like gems, like precious metals or
yes.
something like
And
that.
that's what I think that is that it's not a currency, but to Mando, it is something that
It's
he
huge.
wants and
Well, because it's
needs.
all how he's getting his armor.
Yes, it's something he
So,
actually needs. It's not just a want, it's something he needs for
so Grief Karga says something that makes me think that because obviously we haven't finished Clone Wars, and we know that at some point during the Clone Wars, Mandalore falls.
yes.
And so Grief actually tells Mando that after such a period of disarray with the Mandalorian, so I was like, I wonder if it's happens towards the end. And this is like not too far off after the fall of Mandalore, but
Mhm.
so like within a certain amount of time. Um, but yeah, so that's where I was just kind of like, I wonder. I feel like I'm gonna rewatch this after watching Clone Wars again because I feel
I
like
think
the
it's
amount of
worth
context,
watching in chronological order when we get there.
yeah, like maybe not as many episodes, but maybe just like for context, like we'll do like season one and season two. Um,
Okay,
but yeah,
so Mandalore falls. I'm going to give vague information around the time of the Battle of Endor.
which is
Looks
very
like
close to the start of episode one. No, it's
yes.
in the movies.
Mm,
Battle of Endor is in the movies?
yes.
Yes. So then it is very close to
It is seen
this.
in the Clone Wars, so we will see it in the Clone Wars.
Yeah. I feel like it's referenced a lot.
Yeah.
Um, but that means that it is quite close to the fall of Mandalore. Um,
Yeah, we will see it in season 7 of the Clone Wars.
which is the end. Yeah. Um, so it's not hard to say that like he's kind of taken advantage knowing that Mando will do anything for the Beskar. I do love that he took the deposit to the blacksmith lady, the scary one with the fur. I always thought she was scary. I forget her name. Um, but I'm like, is he spending the deposit before he completes the job?
Well, he kind of has always completed a job.
Yeah. And also, I was kind of amazed. And I was just like, she talks about all the cast offs going towards funding foundlings.
Hmm.
So, do they then sell the cast offs?
I don't think it's sold. I think it is saved for when the foundlings get their first
Oh,
armor.
okay.
So it's like a tithe essentially, and it goes to the next generation. So
Yeah.
I think the cast-offs, because they need smaller armor because they're little, not as little
Yeah.
as Grogu.
I know Kroku is teeny.
Yes.
But no, so like the first half of this episode was actually really great to watch because I feel like I have a lot more questions than I had before, where I was just like watching for vibes. I
Yeah.
was just like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what, like, the only context I had before was like the Mandalorian, the clones. Like, he wore Mandalorian armor, but he was just a bounty hunter. I thought Mandalorians were all bounty hunters. I didn't realize that they were like a whole people before I watched this show.
They're like a whole religion. It's not just their whole
I
people.
know.
It's like they follow certain because when he did bring his deposit over, people were like, "Well, you've done this. You've taken money from these people."
So someone also said, the blacksmith lady said, with your position, and they were talking about how they're like only going up like one at a time to make sure people don't know that there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
And I wonder if he's one of like his skill set makes it so that he's allowed to go above ground more often to like make money for the Mandalorians.
Mm-hmm. I'm part of me wonders like I don't know if that's he's making money for the Mandalorians, but he is following his own path, which benefits the Mandalorians. Because
Yeah.
sometimes it felt like he was doing this out of his own choices and his own beliefs, whereas
Yeah.
it felt like everyone else was very much in hiding. And we do also find out that he is a foundling himself.
Mm-hmm. But yeah. The last note I made for this first episode was that he really hates droids.
He
But
does.
why?
He is very
I can't
anti-droid.
remember why.
Well,
The
we haven't
assassin
gotten there.
droids, I hate them. The
He
assassin droid was so
very
annoying.
much no
Every
droid.
time he was just like, I will initiate self destruct. And I'm like, this is the problem with AI. It cannot critically think through problems.
He's like, you have not failed yet. You will not do that. You are going to cover me.
Like, but he gets the pram, and then we get to the
50
next
years
episode.
old. We have that whole conversation. He's like, I thought he was 50.
I mean, he is 50, but
He
for
is.
that
Well, and
race,
our friend Droid was like, species age at different rates.
that was really funny. Um, I also had a moment where I was just like, because we meet those weird like fish looking animal things, glurgs or whatever. I think the guy's name was Glurg.
I have spoken.
I have spoken.
I love him.
I love him, but I was
Such a
just
great.
like, couldn't he have just like flown his ship over there?
It depends on the rules of the city
I don't
or.
know. I guess I just assumed everything is like lawless.
Yeah, but
Um,
it's also like if he flew his ship over there, it has. Oh. we'll find out in the next episode that this didn't really help. The potential of being looted,
Yeah,
um, harder in and out. Like you kind of want to have an escape plan, and if
that's
your ship's
true.
there, your escape plan is
You're kind of
lost.
stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that makes
And you
sense.
can if you need to like sneak into a place, it's better to not have your big ship just land.
But yeah, so like we get through that. We get through the like honestly the fighting scene was cool, but I was just kind of like this is too much.
Mhm.
It's too much time. But whatever. So we finally get to it. Um grow like we don't know his name, right? Like we just think he's a kid. He's so cute.
He's the
Always so
child right
cute.
now.
And then I'm just like I forgot how fixated I was on that pram. I was just like how does it fly? Does it have to be charged? How do you charge it? How does it know where to go? I think there was a button, but where did he get that button? And these are the reasons why sometimes I can't watch these. Like logically, I get too bogged down,
By the like little things.
like the little logistics. But we meet Grogu, we have these things, and I realize watching it again, knowing like spoiler, like there's spoilers for the later, but knowing what Grogu is later in the episode, because he hasn't confirmed that Grogu is Jedi, but we know that he's force sensitive, right? Like he can
We
use
are
it
aware Mando is not aware because he keeps like stopping him and telling him
because
get
he
back.
doesn't know. I think he just doesn't know what that means.
Yeah. But
Um,
it's close enough to the Return of the Jedi.
that I thought the Jedi's are like not being hunted down anymore.
I
So
don't
like,
think
wouldn't he know about them?
I'm assuming he knows about them, but he also just picked up a bounty for a 50-year-old baby.
That's
So he's
true.
probably not like thinking in that realm. He's just like,
But
this
I
kid
wonder,
keeps getting out. He's not going, oh, this kid is like helping me.
and I wonder if they actually the Mandalorians like the Jedi,
Hmm. And there's
right?
also like that side of that, like, it's a legend to them. Like they've heard of
Oh,
it, but
that's
that
true.
doesn't
Like
mean you know
maybe
what
they
to
haven't,
do with
he
it.
hasn't actually met one.
Yeah.
So, okay. We'll go with that. But there's a moment where they're like at the, like he had hurt himself and Grogu goes to like put his arm out and I think he was going to force heal him.
Yeah.
But then he's like, get back in your pram.
But this happened like
Like
multiple times
multiple
where like
times.
the child at this point has been like, I like that you also have like the Star Trek, like when you did that. I know you're being
Well, he only
gross.
has like that many
I know, but it's
fingers.
just really funny because it's definitely a Star Trek. Like, but
I realized that my ring finger on this hand is a little wonky. I can't separate them.
I
My
can't do
pinky
this hand.
starts
I
to
have
like
to do this
shake.
hand.
I don't know what's happening with my hands.
But
Um,
every time, and I think it was like a little play for like the audience of they're like, oh, because he is a creature that we have associated with Yoda, he must be because we have only ever met like Yoda and one
Yoda
other,
before,
and they
yeah.
were always force sensitive. And so we assume it. So you like see these little moments, you're like, oh, he is. But then Mando's like, get back in your, like, no, we're
No,
not
but like
doing
I distinctly remember watching it the first time and being shook at when Grogu actually used the Force, and I realized that's what it was because I didn't notice all these little like hand touches that he was
these
doing
little moments of him attempting to do it.
because I didn't think
Because
anything
there's
of
quite
it.
a few of them, and he's always stopped before
It's a
anything actually
lot.
happens.
Yeah. I do. Okay. First of all, his like gut, his thing that dissolves people, I was like, that is crazy. I don't think I like we've seen so many different iterations of weapons up until this point.
Mhm.
I didn't even realize how crazy that was. And then watching them on the Jawas, where they're like out of existence. Um, and then I had the thought, do the Kukumura from Moana have to be Jawas?
I feel like they can easily be descendants.
I think that they're inspired by Jawas because they have their own boat. There's a lot of them. They raid ships for supplies. I think the Kukumura are like inspired by Jawas. But also, like, don't their ships have low jacks so that they don't get stolen? And this is like back to the speeder question I always have. You just leave your ship in the middle of nowhere. What do you expect is going to happen to it? What are we looking at?
My question is, are the Jawas inspired by Kakamora because the Kakamora originate from a Solomon Island mythology? Because I
Oh,
was like, I feel like Disney may have used some legends in here.
yeah.
So I was researching if they are real.
Oh, I
In
wonder
Polynesian
if
mythology, the Kakamora are small, hairy spirits with sharp claws known to be secretive and dangerous.
so maybe they're not, but like their energy gives the same.
Yes. Hmm.
Honestly, even when they were like pulling the things out and throwing rocks,
Yeah.
oh, that's where I thought it. That's where I thought it. I was like, oh my God, they
Hmm.
just like the Kokomora. I love Moana. Um,
Me too.
yeah. This is where I was just like, what did he expect? It's the same thing I feel like every time people leave speeders everywhere. Obviously, someone is gonna steal your stuff.
Yeah. Especially, like, I feel like Jawas are a known entity in the world
Right?
that, like, we should just assume they are everywhere and they're going to make you buy your stuff
But
back.
not just everywhere.
And
Like,
then, or it's like, has he never actually experienced them? Because then our I have spoken guide is like, let me handle this. He's like, I'm gonna search my stuff. And he's like, calm. What can
but
we
also
trade for?
like again, you just left your ship there in the middle of nowhere.
Hmm?
There's
But
no
man,
one
they know how to
watching
loot
it.
a ship.
They know how to do it
They are
fast for those
skilled.
little like they're skilled. Though they kind of just like ripped things out. Um,
I enjoy their sandcrawler because it's like so obnoxiously big. Like these, y'all know these guys are on their way there. It's moves
yeah.
slow. It fits all of them.
Well, that's why you know how long he was gone because not only were they able to come, but yeah. And then I don't know why I wrote this, but it says, why does the like town in this it says midtown in the sky scene. There was a scene where things were floating in the sky and the music sounded like Twilight. And I was like, I started laughing. I was like, the music in this scene is hilarious. I think my phone auto corrected Midtown from something else. I don't know what.
Probably.
Um, but yeah, I don't know, man. The the
The
the Jawas
egg,
are just funny.
egg, 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 egg. My favorite thing about the
That thing
egg
was hilarious. And then all of that work.
for them to eat it.
And he was just like, ugh.
He's like,
It was like all of that work just to eat it,
I oft an entire creature
just to steal this egg. And you
for
guys
you
just
to
wanted
have an
breakfast?
omelet that's raw.
That was wild. Also, like, let's just talk about we understand the force at this point. We've
Mhm.
seen kids use it. So, like, the assumption, the amount of energy that Grogu exerts to be able to hold that.
We have
Oh,
to also
that's the
remember,
town. It's
although he
not
is a
Midtown.
youngling, he is 50 years old.
It's Mudhorn. When the Mudhorn is hovering in the sky,
Yeah,
watch that scene again. The background music is eerily reminiscent of music from Twilight.
I will check it out.
But the Mudhorn, right? So like it's a big animal, and so for him to hold it like that,
Mhm.
like we know from watching Young Jedi, you would assume that his skill level is around that.
But he's had a lot more years. And do we consider that because of the era we are in, he probably is one of the most force sensitive creatures we have come across since everything happened,
Yeah, because all the
which
Jedi are
may be
gone.
the reason for the bounty,
Yes.
is because there hasn't been someone
That force sensitive in a
that force
while.
sensitive, possibly since like Anakin.
Yeah. So I can't remember exactly where this episode ended, but that was pretty much it. They like flew off, right?
He turned in the bounty.
That's
That,
the
that's
next
that.
episode.
Okay, then
Yeah.
then they just flew off.
I know, like,
And
we,
the child wanted to play with the ball on the ship.
oh my God, the cute little thing. So this is where I have a comment because we did watch, like, in all honesty, like the first four episodes together so
Yes.
that we could do these first two episodes recording. I actually think the first three episodes are a good, like, full story arc,
Like a trilogy.
like a trilogy. Like, if I were to
Yes,
recommend,
I
if
agree.
people wanted to watch it a certain way and not one episode at a time, watching like chapters one, two, and three would be like a great mini movie.
Yeah. I wonder if the
Actually, it
rest of them
wouldn't
will
be a
play
mini
out that
movie. It
way.
would be like an hour and 50 minutes.
Yeah.
It would be
It'll
a
be a
full
movie.
movie.
It's a movie.
Um, and I can't remember, but I don't think the other ones play out like that.
We'll keep an eye on
So,
that.
yeah, so we'll keep an eye to see if there are ones that are like better to be grouped. But I would say one, two, and three are a great like movie watch all in a row. But
I'd
yeah,
be curious.
so until next time, we're not the droids you're looking for.
But we're the droids you're gonna get. I have spoken.